are definitely moving in our favor. I completely agree with that. But I've recently seen news like, the lawsuit has been dismissed, but I don't know how much convincing it's to me, because when I come here, I search different keywords. I come up with some articles, some news where I'm not completely happy with. Say, for example, this first one. Now that's the recent one, right? I'm going into that one, and here it kind of looks like a scam for me, at least for my eyes, because it's showing you here, to celebrate, we have devoted a total of this much XRP to be distributed to our community. That itself seems like a little bit of issue for me. There is no free lunch, right? So just keep your eyes open as an investor here in the crypto space. There will be a lot of different type of scam. Don't fall for it. Don't put your hard-earned money into that one. You're here to make money, not to lose money, right? Now, the fundamentals of this particular asset is really increasing. The entire asset class is getting attention. Say, previously, we've been hearing India is going to ban. Now, it's not about the ban. The finance minister is coming out, and she just came out and highlighted that we are not going to do that. Instead, we are going to look at the experimentation process, that how they can use it. Why? Because it's not only the small firms entering, even the JP Morgan, who was, back in the days, they were like, the chief, Jamie Dimon, was like, if someone in my trading does trade this asset, I'm going to kick them out. And what they did. So these are market manipulations which you have to understand. So the basic stuff which we get a little bit more information here is that Ripple prevents investor from redeeming 175 million in stock. Now that's about that tetragon issue. And the court said XRP is no more a security, meaning they're actually waiting to get a confirmation. So court, in the actual terms, they stated the case is still unsettled. So whether it's a security or not is not yet decided. So you have to keep those in your mind when you see that stuff in US, because outside US, you're seeing a lot more adoption. Say, pilot using XRP to settle corporate debts and credits in Japan. Now, understand, if you're going through these kind of adoption, then one by one, each area is going to be covered. Payments is the most important stuff which you have to understand. Now, when these kind of fundamentals are evolving for crypto, in the other end, this is there, right? If you agree or not, this is coming. Then you see this from IMF. Based on the health crisis, businesses need to stay afloat, and right now they're pushing more stimulus. At least for my eyes, it shows like that. And if it's going to happen in that way, again, it's not like it won't come in any day. It's coming. We all know that it's unsustainable, right? Now, this is the answer from Ripple Lab. We actually went through it once, and those who haven't actually had time to read this, do read this, because it's really important to you to understand the current situation of the case, so that you won't be scammed by any guys who are trying to just take your money out. Now, these are all items which you need to understand. When they say the case is dismissed, for me, from the end of Chris, he has actually filed it, but we are waiting for a confirmation or the final result from the court. Now, that's on the side of fundamentals. Now, let's look at the technicals here. This particular chart in XRP gives more details. Now, before we go into the charts, let's just digest some other stuff. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, while you go through these, now this is from Greg Kidd, right? It's really important to understand these are guys, who look at investing seriously. They don't invest for next 2 months, 3 months, or a year. They look for long term, right? So investors like Warren Buffett and all, they are really long term guys who does make profit. Now, here in this particular tweet, Greg is highlighting they don't mistakenly believe that their lover has given them an investment in the D-Bus diamond mining company. A diamond is not an investment contract with D-Bus. Now, he is giving you this link here. If you open that, you're actually going into this one, right? So now, this entire statement here for me gives that idea, okay, SEC is way wrong. Now look at the advocate or the solicitor for Ripple, the company, Mary Jo White, who has been the important person for the SEC. Now that's a part of government previously. Right now she is coming out, so the contacts, the networks for her would be so high that she can actually understand what has happened with Ethereum, what was announced on what basis for Ethereum and BTC, and all of these are going to play a huge role in that. So when the finance minister is coming out in India and saying stuff like this, you do have to understand investors are looking at that, not only worldwide, in different geographical regions where they are waiting for regulatory clarity, right? So this is from Blockchain India, and it highlights Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says government wants to ensure there is a window for experiments in cryptocurrency space. So the government, the same government, BJP government, back in 2017, I remember it was like finance minister back then was Jaitley, was highlighting, crypto is a scam, it's a Ponzi scheme, don't jump into it. First step you have to understand is politicians are not well educated based on these technologies. Now, yeah, most of them will be educated, having basic educations, but you're not looking at technology, you're not looking at blockchain, you're not looking at crypto space, because most of them don't have that knowledge. Now, they are actually going in, checking at different opinions from different guys and coming back. But after 3 years, now when they say that, you should understand they are looking at the stuff not because they want it, because the world is adopting it, and if they don't do it now, they're gonna be left behind. When the ISO 20022 structure, infrastructure for financial payment, comes in, they don't want to be left behind. That's one of the huge reasons there. And then they want more investment to flow in when the economy is in deep water, right? So automatically they are looking for more investors, more businesses coming into their geographical region. But they are so slow to this game, you'll understand it's something similar to US. Now, the back-end processing which we have described previously have a lot of stuff to do with. Here, you can actually read the ability to perform future transactions using crypto assets in commercial transaction with overseas business companies will help reduce payment cost, improve payment speed, and diversify payment methods in the activities of business companies that will expand globally in the future. So now, this is coming from Japan. Now, recently Japan highlighted that XRP is not a security. The government from UK did that. So if you are looking at, a court in US, they will definitely have to consider, because they are inside this world, right? Now, before we actually talk all this stuff, we'll actually look at the charts, because charts are really important, right? So this particular item is a daily chart of XRP. What can you see here? We have a couple of trend line. Say this is the trend line resistance here, and the bottom one is the trend line support. So as you plot this, you are connecting the bottom here, the bottom, the bottom. So now if you have more than three or more touch, that trend is actually valid. Now, so you kind of have the top and the bottom fixed. Now within that pattern, now you're trying to analyze how the price is moving. So this one is the bottom, this one is the top, this is the bottom, this is the top, this is the bottom, this is the bottom. So that means this is another trend line support within this pattern. So if the price is being supported and slowly reversing like a U bottom, a rounded bottom, it should push towards the upside. And I'm personally looking at 0.7, which is kind of the previous resistance range, all the way from 0.7 towards 0.73. But look at the RSI and the MACD, both of them right now are getting bullish. That means RSI with this pattern shows it has upside. MACD is rounding up, and remember, on a daily when MACD is doing this, it's about the positive zone. It's not in the negative area here, right? You look at 0 negatives here, 0 positive. Right now we are in the positive territory. So that shows that the price can actually bounce from here, because we have been supported by the moving average and the trend line support. Now that's here on short term, say daily. So you are looking at next 2 weeks towards 3 months, 5 months, right? But this fluctuation I'm personally expecting in a couple of months, because we have done that previously when we had that bounce from that trend line and the moving average. We bounced in like 2 weeks. So if that happens, that's cool. If we go 200%, that's like we reach around $1.2, but still we'll have to surpass the 0.7 resistance first. Now let's actually look at this chart, which is on a weekly. People really have an issue with investing where they forget the recent past, right? Because if you are looking at the recent past, inside 2020 you were in this particular range where you even went to 0.11, right, for XRP, and then you were in a range where just below 0.2 for a long time. You had a long time to accumulate. Then we went above, we retested this resistance zone, we came back, we got rejected, we came back, we made a clear pattern here and then bounced to the upside. So as long as we are considered, we are looking at the bottoms here, and it's rising right now. So in this one, we made that first bounce. We anticipated, okay, that's a dead cat bounce, we need confirmation. So here we got that confirmation, bouncing with a new high and creating a higher low there. So this particular checkmate pattern then bounced to the upside, but eventually we came back down with SEC and the fluctuation. But all of this is still happening inside that rounded bottom pattern. And remember, if you are plotting this with all these issues, XRP is still maintaining this. You remember when we were here, I told you we are going to bounce. We bounced. When we were here, I told you we are going to bounce. When we were crossing this particular area showing this checkmate pattern, I told we will bounce, and we went parabolic. So if next time you're going parabolic from here, reaching $1.2 in a week, still chances are there we can correct down. So always do understand you need to take your profits, otherwise you won't be. If you're a long-term investor, then yeah, schedule your portfolio in such a way that you will regularly take profits at the level of resistance long-term. Say long-term resistance, when you can plot like this, if you're taking your profits and waiting, if it breaks out, cool, you let the rest ride. Otherwise, you're taking a little bit of profit, say 5-10%, and you're ready for the drop. And if it drops, it's fine, you're going to buy back, if that makes sense for you. Otherwise, you're going to look at different assets. Why? Because in this market, you can see tons of opportunity. Not only in XRP, in a lot of different assets. Now that's short, medium term, right? You're looking for next 2 weeks towards 3 months, 5 months. And when you make substantial amount of money in next 5 months, if you are a fan of XRP like me, you can look into XRP and add more cash. Now, we've been following different assets in our Patreon group, and we are consistently hitting our target. Say in every 30-40 days, we have a lot of different trades which are hitting our targets. Now, what does that mean? Because if you are having the knowledge like this, in the recent past we were like this, we were expecting the price to move like this, and say you position your portfolio somewhere around here. Now that's Jan, like in 2 months time you came somewhere here and the price stayed at that time, that price level for a long time, so that you can take your profit. Now those who didn't take, it's up to them. But if they are long-term investor, these fluctuation doesn't actually matter, right? The way from 0.23 towards 0.7, even though it's 200-300% profit, long-term guys are not here for that. They're here for 10x, 100x or 1000x, right? So in that case, you can just actually take all of these out and then look what this month is doing in particular, right? You're moving back in green, and as we talked previously, if we are getting a bounce here above 0.7, that's definitely a continuation pattern on a monthly. Now when you look at that one, you do have to understand it's the general market which you are looking at, where you'll actually go into BTC and then look at the particular pattern which is forming in BTC. So if you're getting a bullish pattern, that's okay, better. If you're getting a bearish pattern, you do have to understand in a bull market sometimes bearish pattern will come in, and if it breaks to the upside, the price goes parabolic from there. So right now, this is what we can actually see. The pattern is showing you it's bearish, it's becoming bearish. Now, if you want to confirm that, you go look at the RSI. The RSI is showing you it's trending to the downside. If you want to connect it and extend the market, you see that, okay, it still has room to the downside and to the upside. Why? Because right now it's at the midpoint, right? So if you want to plot that in a way you see this correctly, it would be something like this, right, in the middle. Now you have to connect a resistance, a support, a resistance, a support. So it should go through that. So a little bit here or there, but still it's fine. We are at the midpoint. If we bounce to the upside, price of BTC can reach around, say, from here, if you are looking in time frames, say by the time if we reach here, would be around 62, 63, 64 range, right? Now if we break this particular support, we are moving down. The next support level is here around 40, and if we break current level, we are going to go to 40, 41, and if that doesn't hold, we are going all the way down till here, because if you can see, this is a support, support, support. So it has been supported all the way here around 29. So anticipate the price to kind of bottom around 30 if that happens. But now that's on a daily chart. If Bitcoin does its stuff on weekly, moving to the downside, be cautious, because this was not the first time, right? 1, 2, 3, and this is the fourth. So you look at here, you had that kind of setup a long time, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you are going up, up, up. Now if it actually definitely shows a distribution pattern and then consolidate there some time, it's not a huge issue. Why? You are kind of way above your all-time highs. Say looking at this, you can say the price consolidated for some period when it was there, right? So say somewhere here around 200% above the all-time highs, BTC consolidated for a bit of time. That's like 60 days, 2 months. Right now you are somewhere there similar in terms of percentage. You take this top and then move it to the upside, you are kind of there, right? You're kind of there, 200%. So if the history is to repeat, as we say, history at least rhymes itself, you are looking at 60 days, right? You plot this, you get something like this, where you're pointing towards April 2021 by the time BTC consolidates. Now here what you can look at is say May 17 all the way towards July 17, right? Now go into altcoins and see what altcoins were doing that time. May 2017 all the way towards June 2017. Let's come into March, April, May. Yeah, so May 2017 we were here, and by June we topped out. So July we corrected. So first we moved up, then we corrected, then with the bounce of BTC, altcoin also moved up. Do understand, when BTC is consolidating, altcoins are getting room to move to the upside, and it is doing that perfectly. Now if you want to confirm that with XRP, what you can do is just jump into XRP chart. Say we're going to use XRP on a weekly and then use the same time frame. Say let's just take a vertical line here and drop it somewhere near that May time frame. So April, May, yeah. For XRP, it was a correction from May all the way towards June, July, and then it was still consolidating. But what you have to remember there is that it happened just after that 8,000% rise in XRP. So unless we get such a huge wave, we are not anticipating for such a huge consolidation there. Here for XRP, the consolidation was comparatively longer, because if you measure in terms of number of days taken, you know that it was like 200 days of consolidation. That's not a small time period, because there's a lot of guys who don't have that patience to be in this market and pay that price in terms of time to ride the next wave up. Because majority will just look at making profit. You know, they come in the market now, in next 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, they need that profit. They are kind of traders, not like investors. So here, if you're looking at this particular asset, patience is your tool which you need to discipline yourself with. Being ultimately patient here in this market gives you that ability. Now when I say being patient with XRP, you do have chance in other assets which are constantly popping here and there. If you can identify them before they pop, say a week before, a month before, 2 months before, that's going to be bullish, right? You can make profit from there, and if you want to buy more XRP, that's fine. If you want to buy something else, you can. So that's kind of the opportunity which the entire market is giving you here. If you want such ideas about different assets with charts and explanations, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. This is the start of the month, so if you join, you're gonna get the maximum value, and if you're paying yearly, you get 10% off on that one. So guys, I definitely believe you received value for your time, and if you really did, please do hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.